Imagine living in a time where being accused was almost the same as being guilty, where fire was evidence, torture was truth, and death was justice. A time when crime was not explained by reason but by demons. Before science, before human rights, before fairness, before courts demanded evidence, before laws protected rights, justice was ruled by fear. Crime was blamed on spirits, punishment was brutal, and mercy was rare. Before reason ruled justice, fear and superstition controlled every crime, and punishment was inhuman. There was the pre-classical school of criminology, and what you are about to hear will change the way you see justice forever. Imagine a world where crime wasn't judged by law, but by trial by fire, torture, and divine wrath. Step into the dark origins of criminology, where every punishment was absolute and mercy was rare. What if the laws you live by today were once decided by superstition, fear, and the threat of divine punishment? Welcome to the terrifying foundation of criminology, the pre-classical school. Hello, Blommies. Welcome to Criminology Unlocked, unveiling the science behind crime, security, and society. This video is strictly for educational purposes and does not promote crime or violence. The pre-classical school of criminology represents a demonological explanation of crime, where criminal behavior was attributed to supernatural causation rather than human reasoning. The pre-classical school is the earliest explanation of crime, before science, before rational theory, before reform. It explains crime through religion, superstition, and supernatural forces. Origin and historical background of the pre-classical school of criminology. The pre-classical school dominated from ancient times through the Middle Ages, before the 18th century. This period was heavily influenced by religious dominance, especially the Catholic Church in Europe. Monarchical rule, superstition and fear of evil spirits, lack of scientific reasoning. Society believed crime was not a social or legal issue, it was a moral and spiritual problem. The pre-classical school believed crime was caused by demon possession and witchcraft. Now that we know the origin and background of the pre-classical school of criminology, let's talk about the belief. Core belief of the pre-classical school of criminology. Crime was believed to be caused by demon possession, witchcraft, evil spirits, God's punishment, and satanic influence. Criminals were not seen as rational human beings. They were seen as agents of the devil, witches, sorcerers, and spiritually corrupted individuals. This is why it is also called the demonological school of criminology. Proponents or founders or protagonists of the pre-classical school of criminology. The pre-classical school did not have scientific founders like later schools. Its ideas were supported by religious authorities, monarchs, church leaders, and medieval theologians. Two major intellectual influences during the medieval period were, number one, Thomas Aquinas. Though Aquinas introduced some rational thinking, the general belief system remained supernatural. Although not criminologists, some theologians shaped moral and legal philosophy. Thomas Aquinas emphasized divine law and moral order, influenced the idea that wrongdoing violated God's natural order. Number two, Augustine of Hippo, argued that evil resulted from moral corruption and sin. These thinkers reinforced the belief that crime equals sin. Medieval church leaders were the strongest supporters of demonological explanations of crime. One major institutional force was Spanish Inquisition. This tribunal promoted the idea that crime, especially heresy and witchcraft, was spiritual rebellion against God. Monarchs and feudal rulers were practical enforcers of pre-classical justice. They supported public executions, torture, arbitrary punishment, and religious-based law. During this period, justice operated under a theocratic justice system, where law was controlled by religion, and punishment reflected divine retribution rather than legal proportionality. Now let's talk about the assumptions of the pre-classical school of criminology. Crime is caused by supernatural forces. Humans are controlled by external spiritual powers. Evil spirits influence behavior. Crime is a sin against God, not just society. Punishment must remove evil from the body. Now that we know the basic assumptions of the pre-classical school of criminology, it's ideal that we know the principles of the pre-classical school. Number one, divine law is supreme. Number two, church and state are united. Number three, fear maintains social order. Number four, severe punishment deters evil spirits. Number five, justice is based on religion, not fairness. Crime was not viewed as a social or legal problem, but as the work of evil forces. a clear example of moral absolutism dominating criminal justice. This video is strictly for educational purposes and does not promote crime or violence. I know you are enjoying the lesson, so stay with me because we're doing this together. Sit tight because you will learn everything you need to know about the pre-classical school of criminology. Now that we know the principle, let's explore types of justice practiced. Types of justice practiced in the pre-classical school of criminology. Number 1, trial by ordeal. The accused had to undergo painful tests to prove innocence. Trial by ordeal was a terrifying test of innocence. Examples include holding hot iron, walking on fire, being thrown into water. If the person survived, God declared them innocent. If they died, they were guilty. Number 2, trial by combat. 2 individuals fought. The winner was considered righteous before God. Justice relied on trial by ordeal, where suffering was believed to reveal truth, and punishment was often arbitrary punishment rather than evidence-based judgment. Accused persons were often tortured to extract confessions. Confession was considered the queen of evidence. This period normalized forced confessions, secret trials, no legal representation, and presumption of guilt. Torture was not hidden. It was legally authorized and publicly accepted. The belief was, pain forces truth out of the body. This idea later influenced debates on interrogation methods in modern criminal justice. Classification of crime in the pre-classical period. Crime was not categorized scientifically. Instead, it was divided into Number 1, religious crimes. It include blasphemy, heresy, witchcraft. Number 2, moral crimes, which include adultery and sorcery. Number 3, crimes against the king. It includes conspiracy against the crown, treason, and sedition. Number 4, crimes against divine order. It includes sacrilege and disobedience to church authority. Let's talk about the concept of witch hunts. Between the 15th and 17th centuries, thousands, mostly women, were executed for witchcraft. The witchcraft panic was influenced by texts like Malleus Maleficarum. This book provided guidelines on how to identify witches and justified torture. This shows that crime was not just legal, it was theological and political. Now that we know the classification of crimes in the pre-classical period, it's important that we know the punishment. Punishment was brutal, public, torturous, severe, and disproportionate. Common punishments included, Number 1, burning at the stake. It's a method of execution where a person is tied to a post and killed by fire. Number 2, hanging. Hanging is a form of execution in which a person is suspended by a rope around the neck until death occurs. Number 3, beheading. The act of killing someone by cutting off their head. Number 4, torture, the intentional infliction of severe physical or psychological pain was used to punish, extract information, or intimidate. Number 5, mutilation. The act of severely injuring or disfiguring a person by removing or damaged a body part. Number 6, exorcism, a religious ritual performed to expel what is believed to be an evil spirit from a person. Punishment aimed to drive out demons, scare society, and satisfy divine justice. There was no concept of human rights, proportionality, and rehabilitation. Punishment during this era was theatrical and brutal, grounded in divine retribution, not rehabilitation. There was no uniform criminal code. Justice depended on the king's mood. Nobles were often treated differently from peasants. Justice was unequal. Religious interpretation, social class, and accusations. Let's look at the pre-classical social control through fear. The pre-classical system functioned as a powerful tool of social control. Public executions were spectacles. Punishment was theatrical. The goal was not justice, it was fear, obedience, and submission. Let's see why pre-classical school matters in criminological theory. The pre-classical school is important because it represents, Number 1, a non-rational explanation of crime. This view was based on terrifying facts from our history. Number 2, a theocratic legal system. Number 3, a punishment-oriented society. Number 4, the absence of individual rights. It is the direct opposite of Enlightenment criminology. Without understanding this era, you cannot fully appreciate later reforms. Strength or merit or advantages of the pre-classical school. The pre-classical school is primitive, though it had some contributions. Number 1, maintain social order through fear. Number 2, unified law with religion. Number 3, created early legal systems. Number 4, established the idea that behavior must have consequences. Weakness or demerit or disadvantages of pre-classical school of criminology. Number 1, no scientific basis. Number 2, extreme cruelty and torture. Number 3, innocent people were executed. Number 4, no due process. Number 5, punishment depended on power and religion. Number 6, no fairness or equality. Number 7, encourage superstition instead of reason. Differences between pre-classical and classical criminology. In pre-classical school, crimes were seen as divine punishments, superstition, or moral failings. While in classical school, crimes were seen as rational choices made by individuals. The pre-classical school emphasized crime against God, king, or society, while the classical school emphasis on free will, rationality, and social contracts. In pre-classical schools, criminals were often viewed as evil, possessed, or influenced by supernatural forces. In classical schools, criminals were seen as rational beings, capable of making choices, who weigh the benefits and consequences. In pre-classical societies, causes of crime were often religious, moral, or supernatural, while in classical society, causes of crime were social and rational. In pre-classical society, methods of punishment were harsh, brutal, and often arbitrary, while in classical society, methods of punishment were rational and proportionate. In pre-classical society, laws were often arbitrary and based on custom or religion, while in classical society, laws should be clear, written, and applied equally. In pre-classical society, the goal of punishment is to appease divine authority, satisfy revenge, or show moral lessons. In classical society, the goal of punishment is to deter crime, rehabilitate when possible, and maintain social order. The pre-classical society influenced early societal rules, moral codes, and religious laws. Classical society influenced the foundation of modern criminal justice systems and penal reforms. Now that we know the difference between pre-classical and classical school, sit tight, let's explore the criticisms. Major criticisms of the pre-classical school of criminology. The pre-classical school was criticized because, number 1, it lacked rational thinking. Number 2, it ignored free will. Number 3, it ignored social and economic causes of crime. Number 4, it promoted barbaric punishment. Number 5, it violated human dignity. This criticism led to the emergence of the classical school of criminology in the 18th century. A revolutionary thinker who challenged this brutal system was Cesare Beccaria. His book on crimes and punishments changed everything by advocating fairness and proportional punishment. Now that we know the major criticisms of the pre-classical, let's talk about the historical significance. Historical significance of the pre-classical school of criminology. The pre-classical school laid the foundation for criminology, exposed the dangers of irrational justice, created the need for reform, triggered the Enlightenment movement, led to modern criminal law systems. The brutality of this system triggered the Enlightenment movement in Europe. Thinkers like Cesare Beccaria began questioning torture and arbitrary punishment. Without its brutality, there would be no reform movement. This transition marks the birth of modern criminology. The failure of this demonological and theocratic system exposed the dangers of supernatural causation in criminal justice and paved the way for rational reform. This shows intellectual evolution. Modern relevance of the pre-classical school of criminology. Although outdated, the pre-classical school still influences. Number 1, mob justice. Number 2, some religious interpretations of crime. Number 3, death penalty debates. Number 4, moral panic in societies. Number 5, cultural beliefs about witchcraft in some societies. Number 6, public shaming practices. In some parts of the world, people still believe crime is caused by spiritual attack, witchcraft, and demonic forces. This shows that pre-classical thinking has not completely disappeared. In summary, the pre-classical school of criminology was an age where fear ruled over reason. Crime was not seen as a violation of law, but as a rebellion against God. Justice was not guided by evidence, but by superstition. Torture was truth, confession was proof, and punishment was spectacle. It was a system built on fire, faith, and fear, and its brutality forced the world to search for something better. The pre-classical school was built on a demonological explanation of crime, rooted in supernatural causation, governed by a theocratic justice system, justified by moral absolutism, enforced through trial by ordeal, sustained by arbitrary punishment, and defended as divine retribution. The pre-classical school teaches us a powerful lesson. When law is controlled by fear, justice becomes cruelty. When superstition replaces reason, innocence disappears. This dark chapter of history forced the world to demand reform, and from its ashes, modern criminology was born. The question is, are we completely free from that mindset today? Justice without reason is simply organized brutality. Today, crime and sin are separate concepts. From demons to doctrine, that was the pre-classical school. If you learned something powerful today, hit the like button. Subscribe for more powerful criminological insights and share this to a friend. Let's build a community that thinks deeper about crime and society. This video is strictly for educational purposes and does not promote crime or violence. Thank you for watching Criminology Unlocked. Tell me what you learned about the pre-classical school of criminology in the comment section. Remember, knowledge is your greatest security. See you soon.